Everybody, Grimble here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to Batman Caped Crusader Episode 6. I really thoroughly enjoyed the last episode. It was really cool to see some of those changes they made to Harley Quinn and just her character in general, how she was more focused on, with her motivations, she seemed to be more therapy-centered, right? And that makes sense as the psychiatry in her, because you never really, in the original Batman animated series, they never really tied back into the fact that she is a psychiatrist. They skim over that. They discuss it as her background and her history and her story, which I always thought was really, really interesting. But then they don't really ever address it again or talk about it again. So I like that her being a psychiatrist is the focus around her being a quote-unquote villain in this series. Everything she does is because of her psychiatry and the fact that she saw all these people all the time that were just terrible, terrible people with these awful desires. And Gotham, she felt, was just a mess. Not that dissimilar to what Batman feels and his motivations, right? Except she just takes it to a much more extreme than he does. But I do like that they have some of those parallels, right? Like, she's doing what she thinks is best for the city. She's rooting out these evils. She's also forcing these terrible, terrible people to donate their money to charity and good causes. So, like, at the end of the day, she's not, I mean, she's doing some good for the world, but she's doing it in a very, very wrong way and clearly is a little bit unhinged herself. But she still very much has that love and caring and gentle nature to the people that she respects and thinks are good people and loves and cares for, like Barbara, like Montoya. And that was on showcase that entire episode, so I really loved it. And as I mentioned, the only sort of gripe I have is I wished they had used the Joker storyline to introduce her character, as the Joker sort of being the catalyst that starts to twist her mind from being a kind-hearted, good psychiatrist to the point where she feels like if people like the Joker exist, maybe, or something like that, I have to take it up a notch and do something about this. And that's when she becomes the Harley Quinn that we saw in the last episode. So that was my only, I guess, I don't even know if it's a gripe. I said it in the last, in the discussion that it was a gripe, but in thinking of it, I don't know that it's much of a quote-unquote gripe as it is just a desire for a storyline tweak to maybe improve it a little bit better. But who am I to question what the writers wanted and what they're going for with this character? Maybe there's some reason they left that out. So, but I am really interested to see her development continue to grow because obviously she's still around, still alive. She called Detective Montoya at the end of that episode, which was so sweet to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss our date, but I got to skip town. So it was a really, really fun episode. I enjoyed it a lot. So with that being said, I can't wait to get into this next episode. So let's dive right into Batman Caped Crusader Episode 6. If you guys are interested in signing up to my Patreon, you'll be able to take advantage of ad-free content, 3 to 4 weeks early access to all reactions, which for the middle tier and above can include the full-length watch-along reactions. Those that subscribe to the highest tier will also be supporting my game and animation studio, Little Grim Entertainment. You'll have access to a sneak peek look at all of our upcoming games and animated shows.
We had a government worth a damn we'd rebuild, pump some life back in. But instead, we get to keep the slums and all the
Hey, you see that?
Yeah. Is that a horse?
Paul Revere? A mean-looking horse. A mean-looking dude. A ghost with a gun. A very functioning gun. Stand and deliver. Uh-oh, what'd he do?
The road is no place for a lady. You should run along home, dear.
He's at least polite? A gentleman? Okay. Very chivalrous ghost.
All in all, your portfolio is up 20% over last year, which is rather robust, if I do say so myself.
He's over there. Cool story.
What do you make of these so-called ghost robberies?
Obviously, some lunatic in a costume. What does a ghost need money for?
It's a good point.
Who else could be a lunatic in a costume?
Didn't you have an uncle?
Indeed. Uncle Nigel was convinced he'd seen the spirit of his late wife wandering the moors outside of Axbridge.
Right. Looking for the dog. Patches. Patches, where are you?
I'm not sure which is stranger. Pennyworth believing in ghosts, or that you two are so chummy.
Well, I was raised to treat the staff like people, Bruce. You might want to give it a try sometime.
Damn.
Hey, remember that property up the coast you were considering for your Wayne Gardens project?
Sure.
I bought it. I'm finalizing the deal later this week.
Well, that sounds great.
I could cut you in. You have more than enough just sitting in that discretionary account you won't let me near.
Think of it as my petty cash fund.
Batman fund.
I probably don't want to know what you use that money for, do I?
Probably not as a lawyer.
Buy whatever he wants. So now he's trying to buy the election too.
Ooh.
I guess the press will just print anything Mayor Jessup says now? 2 unions have already withdrawn their endorsements, and that's just
Oh,
today.
shit.
Okay, sure, we've lost some support among the working class, but maybe we could fix it. Do some kind of press event to show you're a man of the people.
Fine, set it up.
Fine. I'll deal with the people. Ugh.
I asked Henry to take a walk around the block.
What can I do for you,
boy.
Mr. Thorne?
It's more what I can do for you, Dent.
I thought you were backing Mayor Jessup.
Sometimes you want to bet on red and black. Then no
That's
matter
smart.
what, you come out a winner.
Which is exactly why I'm running. To save this city from the kind of corruption you and Jessup...
Yeah, I get it. You've got morals.
That's impressive. I didn't see that coming from him.
You're the DA. You should know all about compromise. The way I hear it, you pretty much wrote the book.
Uh-oh. He's got his secrets.
Well, you know where to find me.
Something odd. Truck that was robbed last night was carrying collections from a charity event. There were 5 other armored trucks in the city last night, all with more money. Why would the thief pick the West Side Charities truck over the others? Maybe I shouldn't focus on what's being stolen, but who it's being stolen from.
Smart.
The people who ride it are its lifeblood. The mother, who lives in the East End but works downtown. The factory workers on the late shift all form the beating heart of Gotham.
They don't look impressed. Oh. The British are coming. Ow. That's hard to explain.
Now that I have your attention, allow me to relieve you of your valuables. In the saddlebags, if you please.
Very solid saddlebag.
Here, take this and leave these people alone.
Oh no, sir. I wouldn't dream of taking a halfpenny from a man of your station.
He robs from the poor?
Farewell, gentlemen.
Like, not a very lucrative business. Uh-oh. That is a very fast horse. A crest. He's gonna pull a vanishing act. Uh-oh. You left behind something. Interesting.
I realize it's unlikely.
Oh, you burned the money.
Perhaps we should consider the possibility that...
The world is big enough for us. No ghosts need apply. This ghost only targets the underprivileged. 2, from his appearance, he's obsessed with the 18th century. And 3, I need answers I can't get here.
Not sure who this ghost guy is. I can't think of a villain similar to that. Probably just forgetting somebody just like I did Clayface, though. Who is that?
Welcome to Heritage Hill, Mr. Fox. I'm Russell Craddock.
Please, call me Lucius.
I really hate to have to sell this place, But you know, taxes will send a man to the poorhouse.
This guy is suspicious.
Why, is that young Bruce Wayne? Not so young anymore.
It's good to see you, Wilma.
Wilma.
I still remember all those long afternoons.
She has the same hair as Wilma.
Can I help you with something?
I'm trying to find out who this coat of arms belongs to.
That's the Craddock coat of arms. They were one of Gotham's founding families. James, Gentleman Jim Craddock, was a wealthy aristocrat
I like
and
this
a
art
staunch
style.
loyalist. But he was also a gambler who squandered much of his family's fortune and nearly lost their estate on Heritage Hill. Since he was born of nobility, Craddock believed wealth was his right, and he blamed democracy for his misfortunes. When he fell far enough, he became a highwayman. But James Craddock was no Robin Hood, the opposite in fact. He stole from the poor to give to himself. When they finally
Keeping up the
caught him,
tradition.
he was hanged at the Old Town Gallows.
You've been a big help, Wilma. Thank you.
I never got to tell you how sorry I was for what happened.
Oh, I appreciate that.
He doesn't know how to handle sentiment.
Mr. Fox is finalizing the details of a land acquisition.
At Heritage Hill?
Why, yes. How did you...
Just let him know I called, please.
A few more John Hancocks and we're all done here. Who's that?
One of my great-great-great-uncles. He became some kind of criminal or a traitor. He ruined the family name for centuries.
Yeah.
Who, me, traitor? Heritage Hill is the Craddock legacy, and you would sell it to rabble like this?
Watch who you're calling names, you son of a...
Very well.
Okay, I thought it was the guy that owns the place, but...
James Craddock.
You know me.
I know who you're pretending to be.
Yep. That's a pretty good effect there.
Just so you know, I'm tearing down this house first thing.
Please do.
But who is it? Ouch.
You fight like a well-bred man.
Fight like a well-bred man.
So I give you leave, but I'll not be so forgiving, sir, should our paths cross a third time.
Did you really just stand there and let Gotham citizens get robbed?
Oh, that didn't work out well. What was he supposed to do, though?
This water can't be over 108 degrees or it'll cause nerve damage.
I've treated every injury you've ever had, Master Bruce. I know what I'm doing.
For the sake of argument, let's say our gentleman ghost is just that. A ghost. How do I stop him?
I believe there's someone here in Gotham who might be able to answer that question.
If you're Linton Midnight, I need your help. I'm hunting.
The Gentleman Ghost, formerly known as James Craddock.
Why would a ghost be stealing money? What could he need it for?
Every shade is different, but they're all echoes of their former selves. You want to be rid of Craddock? You'll need two things. The original deed to Heritage Hill. Craddock believes he still has a claim in Gotham, so you need to
Interesting.
burn that claim.
The deed. It's about the deed.
This magic, it will fight back. I gave you what you needed. In exchange, you return this to me when it's done.
What's it for?
You'll know.
Nah, not buying it. I don't think it is a real ghost. I think it has to do with the deed. Somebody wants it burned.
Good to see those lockpicks I got you for your 12th birthday are coming in handy.
No one will miss a 400-year-old deed.
Who buys lockpicks for his birthday?
Actually, sir, the Pennyworth line traces back to the Duke of Devonshire.
You never told me that.
Frankly, sir, you never asked.
Damn. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna burn the
The
deed?
first blade and the last, we sever your ties to this plane. With the first breath and the last, we speak you on your way.
Maybe I was wrong.
Go back to hell.
Okay. It was a ghost. Not over yet. Uh-oh. Ooh. Possessed? Uh-oh.
So close, and yet so far. Please, kill me before he makes me kill you.
No, never.
He thinks very highly of himself that he could kill Batman. Ah, that's what it's for. Very supernatural.
No.
Oh, they're not gonna kill Alfred. He's fine. Yeah.
Master Bruce.
You fool. What the hell were you thinking? If you
Oh.
do this job without you.
Yes. I know.
I know.
Who's that?
Stay here.
Voodoo Man? He looks like the guy from Bond.
A boon for a boon.
Well, hello there, Jim. Been a long time.
Ah.
No, you can't leave me with this man. Please, I beg you. I'll do anything, but don't leave me, please.
What will you do with him?
You probably don't want to know that.
What could go wrong with this? Nothing at all, right?
You dropped another 15 points behind Jessup. And your biggest donors have rescinded their campaign pledges.
Uh-oh. Yeah. That didn't go so well.
Leave it. Just get out.
Gonna reach out to Thorn. Oh, it looked like that was cracked on one side of his face. That is some nice foreshadowing, if that was the case.
Thorn, it's Dent.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Batman Cape Crusader episode 6. It was a fun episode. I was not expecting... I don't remember that villain at all as an actual ghost villain for Batman. I'm not the most knowledgeable Batman fan, but I have seen a lot, and it's not something that's ringing a bell. That's cool. I don't know. Maybe I've seen too much Scooby-Doo in the past to just... I just kept feeling like, nah, there's got to be more to this. There's got to be something else here. And I really thought I had something with the deed, like trying to get it burned. Like somebody was trying to create this ghost and then pass along this concept of, well, if you burn the deed, then you'll be ghost free, I promise. Now, of course, part of me started to doubt it when Batman was going along with it, because Batman's not typically somebody that's so stupid to fall for something like that. But I don't know, maybe he would in this case. So it was worth a guess. But I was wrong. I was way off. It was actually a ghost, which is interesting because that brings more of the supernatural elements into this world, which I do know the Batman universe has. It does have magic. It does have the supernatural. I just don't ever remember a ghost in particular being a part of that. But this ghost had very much like kind of Paul Revere vibes. Although he wasn't warning anybody that somebody was coming, he was just a shitty thief ghost that wanted to steal from the poor, opposite of Robin Hood kind of guy. So clearly didn't have the greatest morals and was very, very greedy and selfish. It does beg you to wonder, like, why the hell he just shows up now? I don't know. Like, I don't really remember them explaining that in the episode. Like, why now? Why did he just pop up and start stealing from people at this point in time versus weeks ago? Something must have happened. I don't know, maybe it was the fact that Lucius was about to buy the property. Maybe that stirred up something in the house and ended up summoning the ghost. I don't know. That's my guess. Maybe they answered in the episode and I just totally overlooked it and missed it, but I'll have to go back and watch it and see if I missed something. One of the other great parts about this episode in particular was expanding on the relationship between Batman and Alfred. It was nice to see him show a little bit of sentiment towards Alfred. And they definitely alluded to maybe the fact that he doesn't always treat Alfred the best, especially when Lucius was there and having a good time with Alfred and being really chummy. And Bruce was like, oh, that's weird. This is weird. And Lucius was like, I just treat him like a person, dude. You should try it sometime. It's like, wow, okay. It kind of gives off the impression that Bruce doesn't really spend much time talking with Alfred or getting to know Alfred. He just expects Alfred to be there for him. And of course he'll be there for Alfred too. And I'm not saying he doesn't care about Alfred. I think it's just ever since he went down this path of becoming Batman, he put away all feelings and interest in anything else. He didn't really explore relationships. Everything just sort of halted. And that included whatever relationship he had or was building with Alfred. He doesn't focus on other people. He just focuses on sort of his mission and his goal in being Batman and helping people and save people. So if Alfred's not a part of the current struggle or something he's investigating, he's not really going to be poking much into Alfred's life or even bothering to ask him how his day went or anything like that. And that is one of the downsides to Bruce being Batman. He just pushes away any kind of sentiment or relationships that he could otherwise be forming. But thankfully, Alfred has known him long enough to know that he's a good man and he's doing all this because he feels it's important. And he does love him. He loves his family. He loves spending time with him. And so he's willing to go along with this whole Batman thing and aid him however long it takes because he loves the man and thinks of him as his own son, I'm sure. But it was nice. It was nice to see this, much like the Superman show that I'm watching, My Adventures with Superman. It was nice to see them touch a little bit on the relationship between Alfred and Bruce because, again, it's not something they do very often, especially in Batman shows, because he is not a touchy-feely kind of guy. So, especially with Batman, you don't really explore his relationships with other people very often. But when you do have moments like this, it is nice. It's nice to see. It's nice to explore. And it's nice to hopefully see how this might affect him going forward as he continues to be Batman and try to help people and save the city. So I do hope we're going to get more of that in future episodes to come, more of the relationship building, because that is something that I personally like. If you watch the My Adventures with Superman reactions that I've done, I go over that in great detail, how important it is to me, how much I love character building. And the other storyline we started to focus on a little bit more was Harvey Dent. I was surprised to see him turn down Thorne initially, because from what we've got of Harvey so far, he doesn't seem like a stand-up dude. He seems like kind of a weasel, a snake, and willing to do whatever it takes to reach the top. A lot of people don't like him. He seems scummy. But then he turns down Thorne, which is not something, and even says to Thorne, I'm in this position to take down scum like you. And I was not expecting that at all. Thorne was like, oh, you have morality. I was like, really? Where was that the last few episodes? You didn't seem to showcase any of that at all. And then out of the blue, for some reason, he's a moral guy now. I don't know. But either way, he was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to regain the public's trust by making appearances in the public. Obviously, that didn't go as planned. Now, why people would blame him for that is beyond me. Like, what did they want him to do? Like, you just let people get robbed from... He offered the man money to go away. That is, I don't understand that part. Maybe they spun the story in a way that made him look really bad, but there were people there. They saw what happened. He didn't just stand there and take it. He offered a solution, and the guy just didn't take it and disappeared. So I don't know how they're blaming him for that, or what was he supposed to do? He's not Batman. I don't know. That is a little odd. But either way, it does seem that the public has completely turned away from him. He's lost all support, and now he has no choice but to call up Thorne and ask for his help. And I'm sure that's going to go perfectly well. Not end up with him messing up his face somehow. Maybe kind of split down the half. Scary on one side, not so much on the other. I don't know, that's just a guess. Which, by the way, they did allude to a little bit, I think. I have to go back and double check and watch it, but I saw when they cut to his Vote For Me poster that was in his office, it had like part of it was cracked, but it was only one side and the other side was clean. And I was like, that's some nice foreshadowing right there. Well done. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for this episode. It was enjoyable. It was a lot of fun. It was surprising. Wasn't expecting the ghost thing. Let me know down in the comments if this guy has been in anything else, comic-wise or otherwise, because I'm interested to know. I don't recall him being in the 90s animated series, which is, quite frankly, my main source of knowledge when it comes to Batman, because that's what I grew up on, and I loved it. I have read certain comics here and there, but not a whole lot of them. I do, of course, keep up with like Wikipedia and just overall summaries of Batman and his rogues gallery and things like that. But I don't recall seeing this guy as a part of anything, really. And maybe I'm just totally forgetting an episode of the 90s series, because they seem to cover a lot of his villains in that series. I didn't think they really left many stones unturned by the end of it, but it's very possible that I just either forgot about it or they just never touched on him, because, I mean, there's a long history of Batman villains, so they couldn't get to everything, I'm sure. Anyways, as always, guys, if you enjoyed the content today, please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and also check out my Patreon page. I have a lot of great perks there for everybody. Things like full-length reactions, ad-free content. I am usually 3 to 4 weeks ahead on all the shows that I'm watching, including this one over on Patreon. So if you want to catch up, you can do that over there. But with that being said, guys, fun episode. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next one. And I'll see you guys in the next reaction.